What's up guys, Mr. Caboose here, and we're going to take a look at our second tank. This one is going to be the Vickers Medium Mark II, the British Tier 1. This one's an interesting tank. I'm going to go ahead and queue up so we can get ahead with this video and start getting things away. It's a very powerful T1, and it's also the only medium T1 tank, so this leads to this tank having a lot of different playstyles because, as everyone knows, you play lights different than mediums. Lights are more scouts and faster, and mediums a bit heavier, but still able to flank the enemy. And of course, at such a lower tier, there's not many tactics, but it does lead to some interesting gameplay. Got a tier 1 game. Very interesting. Pretty good setup for this tank though, because the way I like to play this tank is it's a brawler. You get out there and you fight. As you noticed, or as you can probably tell, I do for once run a tank or a gun that has less penetration, but I run this gun because it has massive amounts of damage that can be dealt per minute. It fires three shells for every single one of these shell icons, and there are 8 icons. That means we get a ton of shells fired at the enemy. If we really want to do the math, it would simply be 24 shells you could fire at the enemy in about, I'd say, 5 seconds. It takes a while to actually fire all your shells at the enemy simply because of the time it actually takes to fire each one of these shells, or one of the set of 3. Now, as you can see, this tank is a bit slower than my last review, the T1 Cunningham. Or last tank I reviewed, the T1 Cunningham. It isn't able to get to points as fast, and it's a bit boxier. So, however, it does, and also the turret's in the middle. So this leads to a lot different gameplay. This one, usually you're going to sit on the front line, such as I am here, or you can sit it out and brawl with a bunch of enemies. Once someone gets lit up, I'll go ahead and show you. And so this gun, I can just sit here and continuously fire at the enemy. And I'm going to go ahead and reload. But as you can tell, it does tons of damage. Only reason I like to run this gun. You can just throw shells at a tier 1 and just do massive amounts of damage. That's why I like this gun so well. I also like this tank. It's not a bad tier 1. It's got 140 hit points, which is a lot compared to the other tier 1s, such as the Cunningham, which actually starts at 105, then gets 115. MS1, which starts at 100. And so, see, I'm not penetrating too well from this distance, but as you can tell, I could just continuously click and fire. MS1 only hits 100, so yeah, it's got a lot more health. This allows you to take a few more hits. Not many. Of course, it's still a tier 1 tank. These things can't take much of a beating, but it does allow you to take a little bit more of a pounding, which is good. Of course, bit of an issue with this tank. Again, 10mm armor, paper armor, very thin. You will take damage, but you can survive through a bit more if you're lucky. However, it depends on the game. And I like to wait with this tank. Don't rush out. This isn't much different than others play. As I said last video, I'm be showing my point of view on how to play tanks. As you notice, a lot of us here are camping. This is typically how people play tier 1s. And the Cunningham, probably wouldn't actually camp. I'd probably be more up front fighting all the enemies. Unlike everyone else here who's sitting. I'd probably be like currently the guy who's in F6, getting out in front, getting up in everyone's business, fighting everyone. But with this tank, I can actually just sit here, unload shells at an enemy, and do 56 damage from far away. It's not too bad. Yeah, as you can tell, this tank starts at 130 health and goes up to 140. Not too bad. Hit points. So it's pretty decent. Long reload time is the only setback. Once you unload all of your ammo, you literally have to sit and wait. Otherwise, it is very dangerous if you're to get out in the open. People will just sit and pick on you all day while you're still reloading your tank. You're going to lose lots of hit points. Very bad for you. See, ow, ow. I'm taking a bit of fire now. I'm actually going to auto-aim and fire here.
Where'd they go?
And now, see, I'm stuck in this reload. I'm not able to fire, but the enemies are still able to shoot at me. Usually one of the drawbacks of these auto-loader guns, which is why I typically prefer to have those higher penetration single-shot guns. Allows you to sit there and continuously fight, which is usually good for my playstyle, because I'm usually up in their faces, brawling with them. Now, issue is with this, and so that's why I don't like autoloaders so much. You usually have to sit back and wait, and you're not able to help your team as much. Of course, pro having an autoloader, deal massive amounts of damage real quick. I can tell one of our teammates really wants us to go. I didn't hit anything. I probably hit that tank in front of him, hoping something would get through. Didn't. As for some other videos, I was thinking about, currently I have 40 ace tanker badges, and I was thinking about trying to do something with that, where going with hound, or trying to get every single tank in this game ace tanker. Of course, it's going to take a while. It's going to be a lot of time sitting in this game playing the same tanks, trying to get their stats boosted up, which is very hard in this game to do. I thought about going, but then I realized I had 22 hit points. Not the best of idea. I don't know, and there's other videos. I could always do some bloopers of me playing some really fast tanks, such as the T-50-2, just running around doing some crazy stuff with that, trying to get some ridiculous jumps or kills and stuff like that. I don't know, I'm not too sure. Comment on what or tell me what you guys think, if you have any tips for what I should do, or tips on what you would like to hear, or anything else if you want some like different videos. I'm also probably going to be doing some Mortal Warplane stuff. I've gotten really into that game. They actually just allowed us to post videos on that, and so that's a pretty cool game, and I could do some of that stuff. And then if you want me to try and find some more videos like the one that everyone has watched, or that my channel has the biggest most views for now, with the clan war, where there's 15 versus 12 tanks, the massive clan wars battle, which was ridiculous to play in. Trust me, that's why everything was not organized. It looked terrible, because it was terrible. None of us, they were sort of prepared for it. We weren't as much. We weren't expecting the enemy team to throw 15 tanks at us, which sort of caught us off guard. You can see I'm going to wait to aim in here. I'm going to take my time killing this guy. Sorry, 5 shots per. It's 5 shots per one of these. So it's 40 rounds you shoot. It's a lot of rounds. Sorry if I get quiet while I'm sitting here trying to shoot. I tend to like the focus. It's a bit interesting. I'm probably, as you can tell right now, I'm actually clanless. I have no clan. I'm thinking of joining one of the clans with Sentinel Gaming. I'm not too sure yet, but if I do, I'll try and post some of their videos, or some of the videos of us fighting in those battles. And you can tell me what you guys think. Their clan wars battles, that shouldn't be too bad. We're picking up some players and stuff. Alright, so that battle took a while, so I'll probably only do one battle with this thing. But as you can tell, yeah, 6 hull armor, 8 turret armor. This thing is not armored whatsoever. Even worse than T1 Cunningham. Has no armor in comparison. But with that gun, rate of fire, with a 50% crew, 93 rounds per minute. That's a really good fire rate. And that's just because of the long reload. 104 hit points, can take a bit of being, does weigh a bit more. So if you want to ram any of these tanks, not a bad idea. The L tractor weighs a good bit, so that one would be your only issue. But I still think ramming it wouldn't be a bad idea. But then again, ramming in low tier, not really optimum. Shell penetration, not too shabby. You bounce a bit more, but you can still do a bit of damage if you're up close. That's why I would like to play this tank. Get up in front if you can. If it's on a very close map like Himmelsdorf, where you can drive through the buildings and not get shot, and then get right up in their faces. Good use for this tank. T1 Cunningham, more of camper. This one, more of brawler. You can sit out there and fight. Standard damage 7 to 11. Pretty good. Of course, that's each shell, and it fires 40 rounds. So that allows you to fire a lot of damage. Do the math, you can get about 400 damage out of your gun. That's saying you hit 10 damage every shell. I was just picking an easier number to do it. Slower tank, slower traverse speed. Turret traverse, still a bit slow too. You can't really fight or turn that fast with this tank, so if someone flanks behind you, that's sort of where they'll get you, which is why you have to be careful of the fast ones, such as the MS1 or the T1. They can usually get behind you and start pounding on you while you're still trying to turn around. Also, it's a bit taller. If someone is squeeze up behind you, you're going to have a bit of trouble trying to shoot them. Makes things hard with this tank. Overall, not a bad tank. Pretty good. Has some good firepower. And it's got some good hit points. You can brawl with this, is how I'd recommend using it, which is not bad. And then if you want to, you could even go ahead and switch out for instead of using the 15mm machine gun, you could use the 6-pounder, which this does a lot of alpha damage, 70 alpha damage on average. Allows you to put a big hurting on tanks. So you can usually two-shot a tank, and so it's a single shot, but it's not that bad of fire rate. 13.33 rounds per minute. You can fire a few rounds per minute. Stock gun is a 3-pounder. It's the lower version of that. Still does 50 damage. Not bad penetration, 38. Same rounds per minute, so that's not a bad gun to use. Of course, not that fast. So overall, not a bad tank. So thanks, guys. Thanks for watching, guys. Like and comment below. Tell me how I did. Tell me if you have any other points you would like to bring up. And also comment on any other videos you'd like to see.